This poor unloved lazy Susan has been my painting turntable for ages. Battered, stained, and definitely not something you'd leave out on display. But I love upcycling, taking something you might hide away and turning it into something beautiful. And because I hate wasting paint, I'm using up the last of my mid-century modern palette to create this retro-futurist garden mandala, catching the Yorkshire sunshine in this heat wave we're having. Follow the process here and have a look around my channel for more like this. Prepping these big projects can be tricky, so take your time. I also had some leftover Deco Art Americana paint from another project, so I decided to try to incorporate both into this project. In fact, the whole project is reuse, recycle, upcycle and anti-waste. Sounds good! Complete the centre motif with a larger round in blue chiffon and again in buttermilk. We'll come back to the top dotting later. I had this stencil in my stencil bag and really loved the larger shapes, so I used it here to draw out the basis for some mandala motifs. More leftover paint mobilising here. You don't have to stick with my choices, but this green gold is such a beautiful, vibrant colour. It's one of my favourites. The bud motif starts with the shade Cocktail Lounge Teal from the mid-century modern palette, which you can find in this video on my channel. If you would like a substitute, you can use the Desert Turquoise again. It will be flatter and it is matte, but it's quite a good approximation of the shade. Use the same colour to do a top dot in the centre and top dot the blue chiffon round in the centre circle too. The next part of the bud motif is the baby swooshes. They are done in Sputnik Orange from the mid-century modern palette, but you can use any deep red-leaning orange, or just add some primary red to any orange shade. I'm using a 5 size dotter for the dots, then swooshing with the 0.5. Here I'm adding some more detail to the bud motif using colours we have already been using in the project. Green gold and blue chiffon. There's another technique here, walking the dots. This just means keeping on dotting in a line without going back to the paint pot. Now for a new colour. This is Palm Springs Pink from my mid-century modern palette leftovers. You can use any pink as an alternate, but try to make it not too vibrant. Think natural and organic rather than Barbie. Keep reducing the size of dotter as you go. I'm adding bits and bobs now to fill in some of the blank space and add some more detail. Walking the dots around the top of the bud motif gives a lovely seed head organic look. Here I'm adding the base for 2 more motifs, a very stylised leaf and seed pod. I'm using the silicone stencil set from Devon Dotting. The details of this and all the materials are in the description. Here I'm embellishing the green leaf motif with a focal dot in pink and top dots in green. The green here is Avocado Dream from my leftover mid-century modern palette. You can substitute it with the green gold we used before, or Americana Lush Green is a good colour substitute, though the dots won't be as shiny or puffy. If the very centre dot is dry, add another top dot in pink. Add an orange top dot at the top of the bud motif. Now add a few bonus dots into the space under the leaf motif in that lovely strong orange. Embellishing the bud motif here with another colour from the mid-century modern palette, Bachelor Pad Brown. Again, you can substitute any rich brown, Americana, rich espresso for example, with the caveats given before. And I'll just add something extra here in blue chiffon to frame the bud. Adding some more embellishment to the leaf motif with some baby swooshes in mustard. Get plenty of paint on the dots, then drag down with the awl. On top of the swooshes, dot some seeds in that deep orange to add a pop to a motif that might otherwise start to look a little flat. Add top dots in teal blue to all the chiffon blue dots on the motif. We are starting to build that texture. Now we're moving on to what I have called the Bauhaus bubbles motif, influenced by a typical pattern of that mid-century movement. The bubbles all start with buttermilk dots of various sizes, then teal blue top dots, then additional top dots using the different colours in the project. As you can see from this shot from later in the project, each motif is identical, which helps contain the randomness that can get away from you when doing an effect like this. The interesting thing about randomness is that it is often very planned and deliberate. The next motif to kick off is the brown leaf. So first, this needs the main shape to be filled with the brown paint we've used already in the project. Next, we're starting the seed pod. This is filled with that lovely deep orange. Using this pop colour throughout really ties the project together. Add some top dots in brown to the bud, and because nature abhors a vacuum, add some buttermilk dots in that blank space. Switch to green for a further top dot in the centre. Add some more detail to the bud with some mustard dots around the top, walking the dots as before. It really hugs the shape and gives a lovely organic look. Now add some further detail to the leaf motif with a set of teal blue top dots and a nice orange top dot over the pink. Add a buttermilk 3-dot crown to the top of the bud motif. I love the way this is coming along. The beauty of dotting as an art form for me is building up texture, layer after layer. So with that in mind, let's do another round of top dots on the leaf motif in that lovely rich brown, a top dot in the centre of the bud motif in our wonderfully sludgy avocado green, and a top dot in mustard on those space-filling buttermilk dots we did earlier. Now I'm starting to embellish the brown leaf with some top dotting patterns. Teal, blue and brown are such a classic mid-century modern colour combination. The brown makes the blue pop out. Use reducing size dotters to make a shape that follows the curve of the leaf and add a large avocado green centre dot. Now we are going mad all together with top dotting. We add micro top dots in orange around the green leaf. Then we add the same to the centres of those buds. Using that lovely rich brown, add a top dot on top of the orange in the green leaf. Using the green, top dot on the brown in the bud motif. Finally, top dot the buttermilk bud crown with orange. These dots give a huge amount of texture and interest to the piece. Adding more, yes you guessed it, top dots to the piece, starting with a big orange dot at the bottom of the green dot on the brown leaf. Then adding some brown top dots on top of the mustard dots we did earlier. I thought the brown leaf looked a little plain, so I added 2 more green dots to jazz it up a bit. Adding some more detail with brown and that lovely teal blue, including another top dot in the very centre of the mandala. I'm adding detail dots in teal on top of the orange baby swooshes, dots in green on top of the mustard baby swooshes, adding some top dots to the darker blue centre round in blue chiffon, and some orange top dots on the bud motif. If this seems fast, slow the video down or use lots of pauses. Next, I'm using the outside edge of the stencil to make guidelines for some larger brush swooshes that I'll use to frame the orange seed pods. Because I have neuralgia in my hands, I find brush swooshing quite a challenge, and the guidelines really help. I'm adding a spike of buttermilk to the top of the bud motif to draw the eye out from the centre to the edges. There will be 8 dots in decreasing sizes, starting with a number 4 dotter. I wouldn't advise walking all those dots, but you certainly can walk the last 4 or 5 quite easily. Now I'm adding another of my Bauhaus bubbles. At this stage, I wasn't at all sure what to do with this motif, so I'm letting it settle in my head for a bit while I add some top dots to the orange seed pod. These look so glossy and domed on the orange background. I'm starting to sense this orange seed pod is going to be the most important focal point of the whole mandala. Apologies for the poor framing of this part of the video. My camera had started to slide down and I hadn't realised. Such are the trials and tribulations of videography. I'm adding a large central dot in teal blue and a smaller dot at the base of the motif in avocado green. I'm returning to the thought experiment that is the Bauhaus bubbles motif, adding another large dot in buttermilk to the collection. Hopefully it'll all work out in the end. Going back to the relatively safer ground of the brown leaf, I'm adding a 3-dot spike to the top in pink. Another set of Bauhaus bubbles. This time I'm using different sizes of dotting tools. This might look random, but every dot is the same size and in exactly the same place across every segment. That helps with the controlled randomness effect I'm looking for. Okay, that's quite enough of that. You're probably getting as dizzy as me. This is the completed motif, so you can see all the dots in situ. All the base dots are in buttermilk. Take a screenshot to use as a guide. I'm adding a stem in avocado green with decreasing dots to the orange seed pod motif. This creates a line of connection to the rest of the project, and the colour ties in beautifully with the layers of green we have used before. Never being one to shy away from adding even more texture and colour, I'm adding some tiny teal blue top dots to the outer centre circle on top of the green. Now that the orange seed pod motif has dried, I'm adding more embellishments. Green dots on top of the blue central dot and blue dots on top of the brown. These colours are really zinging out with that mid-century modern vibe. Because this mandala is all about building layer upon layer of funky mid-century modern colour, we keeping on building with brown top dots on the green seed pod stem, orange top dots on the brown leaf motif, and more of the same on that buttermilk spike we did on top of the bud motif. This is my least favourite part, the brush swooshes. To be fair, I've never really been very good at it, but since chemo left me with nerve damage in my hands, it's even more challenging. I do love the effect of this technique though, and the way it frames the orange seed pod. Very striking. Continuing with the teal blue, I'm adding a new dot to the top of the swoosh, and then adding top dots of various sizes, all in the same teal blue, to the Bauhaus bubbles. You might have noticed that my original test completed Bauhaus bubble has returned to plain buttermilk. I really didn't like the effect of that one, and so I scraped it off. That's the beauty of painting with acrylic. If you don't like it, paint over it or scrape it off. If you want to see the process of that in detail, I have a short video on my channel, When Dots Go Bad, where you can see how I did it. Classic mid-century modern patterns often feature circles with radiating dots and lines, so I'm adding a set of dots around the larger of the Bauhaus bubbles to achieve that effect. I'm using the colours from the project so far, orange, brown and green. As before, make sure you use the same colours around the same dots in each segment of the mandala, keeping that randomness in check. Back to those dreaded framing swooshes, this time in orange. If you struggle with brush swooshes like me, just give it a go. Practice helps and you can always tidy them up with black paint. Add top dots to the Bauhaus bubble with the orange surround. Keeping with that theme, add brown top dots to the brown surrounded bubble and so on. Now I'm adding other top dots in colours from the project, starting with pink, then mustard, then green, then orange. Make sure you keep all of the segments the same. Again, this helps make the whole thing look planned and cohesive, even if it was really a bit of an experiment. Squeezing some more value out of that rich brown, I'm top dotting the brown leaf motif and the centre of the orange seed pod, really layering those colours now. I decided I had enough space to add another row of outer dots to the large pink Bauhaus bubble, so I did that before returning to another brush swoosh. Although they are far from perfect, and I don't like doing them. Did I tell you that? It does look very effective. My brush swoosh technique is dire, but hey, you've got to keep trying. A last set of brown swooshes and my swooshy bits are all done. That's good then. Sometimes the eye is a trickster, and I could see the overall mandala looked a bit gappy, so I used an old painter's trick of taking a photo for a good objective examination, and decided to add some more bubbles in buttermilk of various sizes. With a fear of being repetitive, I made sure each segment had the same new dots. You know why by now. I saw the same problem with the space under the orange seed pod. It's always a balancing act between blank space and dots, but it definitely needed something. So I added some dots with a size 5 dotter in pink and a size 3 dotter in orange. I decided to add a side stem in avocado green. The spaces on either side here are not symmetrical, so I could only do this on one side. I'll have to think of something smaller for the other side. I'm top dotting the remaining Bauhaus bubbles using colours from the project. Follow the image I gave you before or just go for it. There's really not much you can go wrong with here. I decided to surround 2 more of the Bauhaus bubbles with tiny dots. It just seemed more balanced somehow. I'm top dotting the side stem with that lovely rich brown to match the main stem. It looks really effective. We're on the home stretch now of this big, complex project, but there's still a little too much blank space for me. I never know when to stop. So I'm sketching out some baby swooshes beneath the orange seed head motif. I find it much easier to sketch out first and dot and swoosh after. I'm using teal blue with a size 5 dotter, getting lots of paint on there, and then swooshing with a 0.5 tool. I find this type of swoosh, well, it's more of a teardrop really, or an apostrophe. Much easier and more fun to do. Now I'm repeating on the other side. Look, no sketching, I must be feeling brave. It doesn't matter if the swooshes don't exactly match. The idea is futuristic but organic and natural. I love those orange seed pod motifs, and just as I thought, they have ended up being the focal point of the whole mandala. Just beautiful. And there you have it, the upcycled Lazy Susan Mandala Atomic Garden, painted with leftover paint from other projects. I'm so delighted with it. It will have a new life once resined with food-safe art resin as a table centre for smorgasbord lunches, or picky bits as we call them here in Yorkshire. If you've got to the end of the video, you've done well. If you followed along and painted this, you deserve a medal. Check out my channel for more projects like this. There are lots of exciting things being planned, and drop me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Happy dotting!